onset? Is it possible? How much does it cost? And is it worth it? Now, the last two questions are the questions that economists like to focus on, but obviously we need the physicians and the epidemiologists to answer the first question. As economists, we say, well, resources are limited, so we could spend those monies that we're spending on diabetes or diabetes prevention on other health concerns. So is it worth it doing that? RTI has been working with the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention to answer these questions in the United States. We have developed a mathematical simulation model of diabetes progression and costs to evaluate the cost-effectiveness of interventions to prevent diabetes and its complications. And over the years, we've published a number of articles that have looked at both persons with diabetes and persons at risk of developing diabetes. So we asked the question, could we use our diabetes model to look at the cost-effectiveness of diabetes prevention in Abu Dhabi and possibly in other areas in the Arabian Gulf? So it's a very complicated mathematical model that's programmed in a language called C++. I won't bore you with the details, but basically this gives a really brief synopsis of the model. There are different individuals with prediabetes. They can develop over time diabetes. If you have diabetes, you can develop the complications of nephropathy, neuropathy, retinopathy, coronary heart disease, and stroke. Nephropathy leads to kidney disease, which in its extreme case can lead to end-stage renal disease, which can often be fatal. Neuropathy represents problems with nerves, nerve damage that can lead to foot ulcers and lower extremity amputations. Retinopathy can lead to blindness. Coronary heart disease can lead to heart attacks, and stroke can also cause fatalities. So the model represents, along these lines, these arrows, transition probabilities between states, and we put interventions that can potentially slow these transition probabilities. The model simulates disease complications, mortality, costs, quality-adjusted life years, which correct for both the mortality and morbidity, incremental cost-effectiveness ratios, and the progression of persons with prediabetes until death or age 95. So it's a simulation model that looks at all those issues. We were able to collaborate